Sandy Says Read, and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to do a ton of filming. Yes, but we're going to start with a Booktube tag. This is the Book Tastes tag. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to look here on the computer in just a minute because all the prompts are on the computer. Before we even begin, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping, and I'm going to apologize for the voice. What's happening with the voice? I don't even know. Apparently, I'm having some trouble. I will do a little bit of light editing so that you guys don't have to listen to me cough and struggle through this. Is that enough housekeeping? Oh yeah, subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Please welcome your friends to subscribe to the channel too, because this is a Booktube channel where we talk about books. That's right. Here at Sandy Says Read, we read, and then we do book reviews and Booktube tags and all kinds of bookish stuff. And then light editing to take away the crazy, the worst of the crazy. I'll leave some of the crazy in because it's entertaining. Now, you guys, if you've been here on the channel for any length of time, you know that my printer here in the house died after being possessed by some kind of demon for a while, and I can no longer print things out. So everything is on the computer. So I will be looking at the computer while we go through this tag, if y'all don't mind. All right, it is the Book Tastes tag. And I wanted to get this done ahead of Booknet Fest, which is coming up at the end of May. I didn't write the dates down. I didn't put them on this thing. So I'm going to have to put them in the information box below. You know, I could give you some dates for it and I would screw them up because numbers, you know, I can't do numbers. So I'm not even going to try. I just know that it's at the end of May. All right. This tag was started by Marinus over at My Name is Marinus and Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. Those are the two gals who founded Booknet Fest. And they have put together this tag ahead of Booknet Fest for booktubers out here to get to know each other better. So let's dive into it, shall we? Already drinking stuff to clear my throat, you guys. Already editing stuff. All right, let's dive into this and see how far we can get before I just completely collapse and stop. Prompt number 1. How do you rate books? Give a quick rundown of how you do your star ratings, or if you don't use star ratings, how you evaluate books. All right, you guys, if you've been here on the channel for very long at all, you've probably seen me answer this question in other tags or in just talking about indie books. I'm filming this during the month of Indie April, and I'm going to be talking about some indie books here on the channel during Indie April. I am prejudiced toward indie books. If your book comes from an independent publishing house, I am going to be more inclined to pick it up and read it. And I'm going to be more lenient in the way I review it. First of all, I don't like using star reviews. I don't like it. It feels very arbitrary to me. Everyone has a star rating system. Everybody does. And it's so subjective and it's so arbitrary that I don't like to just fling stars at books. I like to talk about them and discuss them, which is why I have a Booktube channel. So if you have a book from an independent publishing house, or if you have self-published your book, I'm going to be more inclined to pick it up and read it and bring it to my audience. And I'm going to be more lenient in the way I talk about that book. More lenient in the way I judge that book. If there are some typos, I'm probably not going to freak out. If there are some grammar errors, I'm probably not going to freak out. Even if there's like a little plot hole or some character that, you know, is introduced in chapter 3 and talked about in chapter 4 and then drops off the map, I'm probably not going to freak out the way I would be freaking out and disappointed if I saw these things happening in a book from one of the big 5 publishing houses. The reason for that is discussed in other videos here on the channel. I probably don't need to belabor it, right? So the star rating thing, I don't use star ratings here on this channel. During the Christmas reading challenge that I did, I kind of ranked books without really rating books, but I ranked them, sort of, kind of. Yeah. I don't like doing that. I like to discuss books and talk about the merits of the books more than rating them. Let's move on to prompt number 2, shall we? Prompt number 2, how do you approach reviewing books? I think I just told you. Okay. What's your review style? Are you analytical, emotional, casual, or structured? You guys can hear my neighbors going by on their little motorcycle. Okay. Back to the prompt. Okay, so for me, my approach to reviewing books and my review style, it really depends. It really depends on the book. In my book review, whether it's emotional or analytical, really kind of depends on the book I've read, right? I mean, if it's a book that has evoked an emotional response, yeah, my review might be kind of emotional, right? Okay. Yeah, let's see, what else did I type here? Oh yeah, and it does kind of depend on my schedule too. You guys know I have a daytime job, a day job through the week that demands 40 plus hours from me. So I do all this filming here on the weekends. So if I'm in a big old hurry to do a review for you guys, I'm probably not being as analytical as I could be, right? Yeah. It's pretty casual here. It's pretty casual. It's us friends talking about books. Number 3, what's the book that made you a reader? Whether it was your first favorite or the one that got you hooked, what book started it all? Okay, it's been way too long ago for me to remember this, but I can tell you the book that got me back into like really reading for this channel was called The Anomaly. Don't remember the author's name, but it was a thriller book, and it was a book of the month featured book that came here to the house. I ordered a book of the month, and when The Anomaly arrived that evening after work, I sat down and started reading it, and I read the whole thing. I just stayed up late and read the whole thing in just a few hours, and that got me back into this like just power reading and reading to bring stuff here to this channel. But I don't remember like what was my first favorite book, like back when I was a kid. I don't remember which one got me into reading. I slept since then. Okay, prompt number 4. Do you have a genre niche? Oh, yes. Are there certain genres you gravitate toward? Oh, yes. Or do you read widely across genres? Yes. Okay, so my favorite, you guys, you can all say it with me, is fantasy. Man, if it's got a dragon in it, I'm there. I am so there. But I do read more widely now that I have this channel. I just have picked up more books because I'm reading for this channel. And I can tell you, especially since I've started doing some like reading challenges, even back in 2018 when I was doing some readathons that, like I did a science fiction readathon. That kind of helped me to expand, that's what this means. It helped me to expand some of my reading in science fiction. That's still kind of science fiction fantasy. It was still kind of in my wheelhouse, right? Since I've been doing some reading challenges, like the clock reading challenge, especially, that has forced me to look for books that, they have a number in the title. My goodness, you guys, that could be any genre, right? So I have done more reading of different genres. I'll read just about anything. I think there's a question further down in this tag that asks what I won't read. I think we'll get there. I have a couple of tags I'm filming today, you guys, so we'll see. Okay, number 5, do you generally prefer character-driven or plot-driven stories? Character-driven. I love a good character that I can fall in love with and root for. There you go. Number 6, what's a book you love so much that you don't care if others don't like it? And what's that one book you love enough for everyone? Shall we say it together on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Jane Eyre. This is the answer I give to every one of these tags that ask a question like this. Jane Eyre. There's so much about Jane Eyre that I just absolutely love. I love it so much. Here we go. So I love it so much. I love it enough for everyone, even those people who don't like it. Number 7, what's a book you love so much that if someone doesn't like it, your reading tastes don't align? Oh, wait, what's a book you love so much that if someone doesn't like it, your reading tastes don't align? Oh, I don't know. So I guess if someone doesn't like Jane Eyre, our reading tastes don't align. Well, I don't think our reading tastes wouldn't align. I don't know. The book or books where a difference of opinion is a strong indicator of different reading preferences. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I know there are, this kind of looks into what are some books that, maybe it's looking to what are some books that I have like a different opinion. I don't know. I don't know how to answer this question, you guys. A book I love so much. Okay, so I love Jane Eyre so much. So if someone else doesn't like it, does that mean our reading tastes don't align? Well, not necessarily. I mean, it depends on why someone doesn't like the book, right? Because our reading preferences might align on other points. I don't know how to answer this question. I'm going to move on to question number 8. Question number 8. What's in your trash pocket? What books, tropes, or themes that you know are bad, but you love them anyway? Okay, I don't know what a trash pocket is, and I don't know what a bad trope is. You guys, there's always something good in a book, right? And I know that, like in the romance genre, there are tropes that some people are tired of, that some people are sick of seeing. What's a bad trope? I don't know. But if there's something that I consider bad, okay, it's like abusive relationships. Okay, if you've got a romance novel and there are abusive relationships, like a Colleen Hoover book, I'm just not going to read it. So I wouldn't read it. So I'm not going to love it. I mean, if something is a bad thing, I'm just not going to bother with it. Let's move on to number 9. Do you have any deal breakers in books? Something that, if present, immediately turns you off from a book. Well, I guess that abusive relationship there, right? Okay, blatant porn. I'm just not going to read. There are certain types of erotica. I'm just not going to read it. Yeah. So if present, it means immediately turns me off and then I'll DNF. Yeah. Or I just won't buy the book. Prompt number 10. What's a strong opinion you have about a book released within the last year, whether it's overrated, underrated, or just a take you need to share? You guys, I don't know exactly how to answer this one. I will say that a strong opinion I have about a book that I've read within the last year was The Three-Body Problem. This was a hard sci-fi. You might call it space opera. No, it took place here. The first book took place on Earth, mostly on Earth. There were some scenes out at the other galaxy, but mostly it took place on Earth. The Three-Body Problem. I have a pretty strong opinion about that one. My strong opinion is that it was a confusing, I'm going to leave it there. It was a confusing work. I'm going to leave it at that. I have a video here on the channel reviewing and discussing that book that's over an hour long. You can hear all my opinion. There's always something good in a book. And I did find elements of the book that were cool, that were pretty fabulous. I mean, even now with in our out there in society, with what's going on with the Panama Canal and us getting rights back to the canal we built there, as I hear stories about the Panama Canal, I remember the scene in The Three-Body Problem where stuff was set up, and I'm not going to give it away. Stuff was set up so that filaments caused something to happen at the Panama Canal. I don't want to give it away in case somebody wants to read that book. A cool thing happened at the Panama Canal in The Three-Body Problem. I'll leave it at that. But I remember that to this day. So now when I see stuff about the Panama Canal in the news, I think back to that scene in the book and I can picture it. It was so well written that I can picture it in my mind, right? So there's still stuff in that book that was really cool, really good, even though it was a confusing book that I did not enjoy. Wanted to DNF it so bad. Okay. Shall we move on to prompt number 11? What do you look for in writing? What makes a book stand out to you? Is it prose, style, themes, voice, structure, or something else? You guys, if you've been here at the channel for any length of time, you know I prefer third person past tense, I prefer consistency. Intense. I prefer indie pubbed books. If it comes from an independent publishing house, I dig that. But what else is in this question? What makes a book stand out to you? I don't know. The cover. Seriously, is it prose style, themes, voice structure, or something else? You know, I picked up So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. I picked that book up because the author had been mistreated in online circles. Like she was one of the authors that had been targeted and maligned, and like her book was being 1-star bombed by someone who was unethical. Okay. And so I picked up that book. It had dragons in it. So I picked that book up for my dragon reading challenge. It wouldn't have been on my radar otherwise, I don't believe. So I picked that book up. I read it for that purpose, to support that author and to bring it to you guys here on the channel. So that's one of the ways that I will select a book. If the author is being maligned, mistreated, if something's going on out there in the world, I'm like, hey, hang on. That's one of the ways I'll pick up a book. Prose style, sometimes themes, voice and structure. Yeah, if it's third person past tense is something I do look for. And I've discovered that about myself because I have been at, book fairs and author festivals and stuff where I'm looking for books to, pick up and bring to you guys here on the channel. And if I pick up the book and I'm glancing through and it's written in first person point of view, I am less likely to buy it. There's an example. I was at the Sunshine State Book Festival back at the end of January. February 1st was the date of the actual festival. And there was a gal there who had this fabulous looking fantasy book. It was gorgeous. The cover was beautiful. I no longer remember the name of it. What I remember is I was looking at this book and thinking, wow, this looks right up my alley. I read the back cover of it and the story sounded interesting. It was pretty cool. And the gal handed me a blurb. She had a blurb printed out that I could read. She was handing this to people coming up to her table. I thought, what a great marketing idea. You rock. And I read the blurb and it was written in first person present tense. And I smiled. That's great. Good for you and good luck here at the show. And I kept moving. No, I'm not going to read an entire freaking book of first person present tense if I don't have to. That was a little rude, but it's the truth. I mean, it's just the truth. It's just, that's me. That's just me. And the weird thing is, you guys, you know how much I love Jane Eyre. You know how much I love Charlotte Bronte, the Bronte sisters in general. And Jane Eyre is written in first person. And yet I love it. It works. It works beautifully, perfectly. I enjoy it very much. But every once in a while, if I pick up something and it's written in first person, boy, there better be a hook there to get me to go any further. Shall we move on to prompt number 12? Have I beat that one into the ground? All right, prompt number 12. How do you decide what to read next? Well, picking it up at a book festival, right? Do you plan ahead? Sometimes. Do you mood read or follow external factors like hype, recommendations, arcs? This is absolutely random, you guys. It is absolutely random what I pick off of the shelf to read next. Absolutely random. The reading challenges that I've been a part of the past couple of years, those have helped kind of direct some of my reading. But overall, I would say it depends on my mood. It does depend on am I in the mood to read literary fiction? Usually not. But if I need a book for the clock reading challenge, if I need a number 8 and the next book on the shelf that has an 8 in it is literary fiction, then I'm going to read literary fiction next. Okay, that's how it goes. That's how I choose what I read next. I tend to avoid the hype. The hype, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. What I'm bringing here to you guys on the channel, typically, if it's from a self-published author or an indie publishing house, there's probably not hype behind it. We indie authors can't afford to pay for hype. Number 13. Number 13, where do you get inspiration for your booktube content? Well, what sparks your video ideas? Other creators, trends, personal reading experiences. Okay, I get inspiration for the booktube content from the books I'm seeing on other authors' tables when I'm participating in these book festivals, literary festivals, conventions, that sort of thing. I see other authors' books. If I'm serving on a panel with a fellow author and they're talking about their book, and I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. I want that for my channel. I'll buy that book from them and bring it to you guys here. That is one source of inspiration. Then these booktube tags, these tags that show up on other booktubers' channels, that is a source of inspiration. I have found myself going specifically over to Pat's channel, Book Chat with Pat. I go to her channel because I know she will be doing the most recent tags. Yeah. And she's just such a kind and smooth person to listen to. How do I say? She's serene. Is that the right word for it? She's just calm. Okay. And so to watch one of her calm and pleasant tags is a good thing. So I find myself going to Book Chat with Pat to find other tags that I might want to participate in. I find myself doing that a lot. So that's inspiration. Joe Linsdell, you guys know, if you've been on this channel for any length of time, you know that I will go to Joe Linsdell's channel to see what she's been reading. She's the one who got me into the clock reading challenge. She started that thing years ago. So I find inspiration from Joe, from Jim at Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff. I find inspiration from him. Yeah, there you go. Number 14, moving on. If you could make any book go viral right now, what would it be? One of my own. Good Lord, please make one of my books go viral. A book you think deserves more attention and why? Yeah, guys, what I wouldn't give to have one of my own books go viral right now. It would be so nice to finally someday make some money at this. But a book that I think deserves more attention and why. There is a gal in the indie community circles named Leigh McCorkle. She wrote a journal. She was doing online journaling, and she was writing letters to Daniel Craig. She turned that into a book, a journal that she produced, she released. She then turned it into a screenplay. It is now a movie. She is also going to have that. It's been picked up and optioned. It's going to be a theater production, an off-Broadway play this summer in New York. She is succeeding with that journal, with that simple idea of writing letters to Daniel Craig. The thing is, letters to Daniel is more than just a gal writing letters to Daniel Craig. That's not all this was. This was her journal, giving her innermost thoughts of working through bipolar depression, bipolar moments. It's her journey through working through all of that inner turmoil, outer turmoil, getting through that. And you guys, I've read it. It's amazing what she was able to put on paper or type into the computer. I mean, it's amazing what she was able to put on paper. And then to see her moving forward with this project. She's been winning awards for the screenplay. She's doing really well. I recommend following Leigh McCorkle on all the social media platforms. But if her book, if Letters to Daniel could get more attention, it would only be good, not just for Amy, but for people in the mental health wellness community. Yeah, that's a book I think deserves more attention. And that's why. Number 15, who are some booktubers with reading tastes similar to yours? So people who have reading tastes similar to mine. Who else out here is reading indie books? I don't really know. I will say that Cathy at Enchanted Reads, she probably has similar reading tastes to me in the in like the vampire and fantasy milieus, genres. I would say that. And then Kailey, over at Luminous Libro. She probably has similar taste to mine in like classics. I know in like the Little House series. I don't know. I don't know if I can answer number 15 very well. It's the best I can answer number 15, I think. And that's the end of the tag, you guys. If you enjoyed this chaos and mayhem and craziness of trying to answer this tag on camera, thumbs up for the chaos and the mayhem. Please subscribe to the channel. Welcome your friends to subscribe to the channel too for more mayhem like this concerning books. And, you know, I'm doing this ahead of Booknet Fest for the purpose of, I guess, introducing myself to the Booknet Fest community. It's been a little while since I attended Booknet Fest. I was there in 2018. And there's going to be some PTSD. I'm just saying. I went there, and in the time that I was there in 2018, I spent most of the time worrying about getting back home because Petrie, my son Conyer, I knew that he wasn't well. I knew he was having some struggles, and I wanted to get home to him. And I did. But about a week later, he passed away. And so I want to go to Booknet Fest. I want to go. I want to go there. I want to learn more things about handling the Booktube channel and doing bookish things and what's new, what's fun, what are some more things, what, you know, for this like inspiration question that we had up here, maybe there's some more inspirational things I can get out of the conference. It's only 2 days, right? But there's another part of me that is like, I shouldn't go to that. I shouldn't go to that. I'm going to get there and I'm going to like cry through the whole thing. I shouldn't go to that. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So you guys, thumbs up for facing our fears and getting through all the stuff and going and expanding and finding more inspiration. Thank you so much for tuning in.